I wanted to just return to one thing quickly in these notes, and that was from the June 23rd review from ChatGPT, which was after the episode 8 summary, and it was the we were asking what should Fritter Hollow be. And the thing that it came back with is, so this was its response when it was responding back to me. What would I tell Dan? And the question would be, we should narrow our execution, not our curiosity. And then I wrote in my own handwriting, 100% yes. Yeah. Like that's, I think, what we've been doing now throughout these, 13 episodes previously. This one, number 14, is we've been narrowing our execution. We've been getting really specific with what we need and what we want to do with it, but not the curiosity. The curiosity is still blossoming. And it's like, I think that's fantastic. But then the other thing that I needed to say was, I think that the work we're doing in this exploration, in the execution, the management of the space, the management of our time, has been such good work. This is among the best work that I've done in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's right up there. Anyway, that's all I have for this week.
No, that's. It was nice to hear that sentence actually. That we need to narrow our execution and not 100%. That's even clearing the space out. That's what that's.
Yep.
About. Yeah. Nice. Okay. The past week for me has really helped me hone in on the type of projects I would like to work, the type of storytelling projects I would like to produce.
Oh, exciting. Okay, do tell.
I'm going to try to give the most succinct version of this I can. Otherwise, I could get wordy and talk for hours if I don't. So everything I'm going to say here is truthful, but I'm going to be leaving chunks out just for brevity. An old friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine, who I hadn't spoke to since 1999, found me on Facebook about a month ago. We started chatting a little, which led to some phone calls. He lives outside the Calgary area now. He moved away from Edmonton in 1999, and I hadn't heard a peep from him until 2026. He's hit a bit of a rough patch in life, and that's a lot of like the phone calls I've been having with him are a lot of him venting about that and a lot of stories from the nearly 30-year span that he's been gone from my life. And I clued in at some point that this guy, he's a combination of very unique things. He trusts me, for one, because I'm an important friend figure from his childhood. Like we were pretty close from the time I was 10 till I was 24. So that's a pretty significant period of time at a significant formative age. There's just a trust there.
Yeah.
He is remarkably open in ways that most people aren't, which is very much my wheelhouse as far as talking to people. And he has had just an unorthodox, fascinating, kind of extreme life, which creates a lot of fodder for conversation, right? So he's this very unique set of things. And on top of all of that, all I had to tell him was I am probably going to be making podcasts in the future. I would like to record these calls and fish for ideas, if you don't mind. And he was 100% on fucking board. So all these things, it was God himself lined up, somebody who I enjoy talking to already and wouldn't mind reconnecting with already, and made this interesting case study for me to try to launch some of these ideas too. So I did that last night. We recorded a phone call, and I went through the transcript with ChatGPT last night for a couple of hours and really narrowed in on some things. And one of the things I realized, and it was ChatGPT that posed this question to me too. He is what if this, because I'm asking ChatGPT, based on this conversation we had, what story ideas do you see here? What are some angles? I don't want to just say, I don't want to do, this is his struggle. I don't want to do, this is his life. I don't want to do it. I'm looking for a new angle.
Yeah.
Something that interests me and is at least somewhat novel or at least underappreciated. And it came back and it's what if the story here was, how does he experience the world? And I really fucking narrowed in on that. And I'm like, when we talk about inner worlds, that's what I'm after. I'm after, how do people experience the world? Like, you can tell a crazy story. Like, to make a really simple version of this, one of the things he talked about yesterday, and this is actually one of his least interesting stories, oddly, but it's still kind of interesting, is he recently fell for a crypto scam. And kind of beating himself up over it. And I thought, well, that's an interesting enough story about how this guy fell for a crypto scam, what happened, how do you feel about it after. All that is true. Like, that is interesting. But what I'm really after is what was going on in his mind. How was he experiencing life as all of this was happening? What led him to that place? What's his inner story, like, that he tells himself to get into this kind of position? And especially repeatedly, because he tends to get in these similar kind of positions repeatedly. So, like, that's kind of where I think I'm going. I'm looking for how people experience the world and finding out what the commonalities are and what the differences are.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I see that as a thematic imperative. I don't see that as a story per se.
Well, no, because every
stories could come out of that.
Right. Every story is going to be different.
Yeah.
But I think that is the main overarching question that I'm going to take into each fucking project.
That's your thematic imperative.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how people experience the world isn't in and of itself a story.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there has to be a story.
But as a thematic imperative, as we've talked about in previous episodes, that's gold, man. I mean, that's your North Star.
Like, because I don't think particularly, like, so just to talk in real loose terms with his story, right? What I think is going to end up happening is we're going to have different sections of conversation. Some of it is around his frustrations in maintaining employment in middle age. Some of it is going to be he's identified a lot of the problems that he has in his life as, like, existential damage stemming from his father, who was an asshole when he was little. His brother is ill, and that's another section. He's lived a very unorthodox lifestyle. That's maybe another section. All of those on their own create somewhat of an interesting story, but not an original one. But if I approach it from the standpoint of, well, how does he experience the world? What goes on in his head? You know, like, what's the story he tells himself? That's the kind of interesting shit that I'm after. And I have a jumping off point now. Like, last night was just a conversation. I was just talking to him about where he's at today when we were talking yesterday. But from that, with ChatGPT's help, I managed to make 2 lists. I made one list of his contradictions, and there was plenty of them. Like, things he said that he believed that directly are contrary to one another. And then I created a list of a dozen or so moments from that call that I thought were either emotionally interesting or just flat out interesting moments, things he said or events he referenced that were, like, interesting and worth pursuing. And from those 2 lists, I generated a bunch of questions that I can take to the second call. But it's not necessarily an interview. It's not necessarily question, answer, but it gives me a direction of things I would like to talk about, further explore. And then I'll do the same. I'll keep repeating that process with the transcripts, right? So, like, I don't exactly know how to shape that into a story. That's kind of the next thing. Like, but yeah, I feel like I have a solid direction now and a process unfolding to get there.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, let me say this. Maybe it'll be helpful. It doesn't always have to be a story. We think we're trained now to think that story is the ultimate currency. Like, it's whole and complete. It's done. Here's a story. It's finished. Why? Beginning, middle, end. Moral, theme.
I don't know if I need an end, but I
correct. Well, that's what I'm trying to say now. Is that you? But I think it's important, though, not to call it a story if it isn't a story. I'm a bit bullish in that regard.
Yeah.
You know, I told you that's why we have words like anecdote and metaphor, and, like, a metaphor isn't a story, right? Like,
well, I guess I was basing it more on, like, we decided we're a story company.
That's right.
I mean, if that's a mistake, we should correct that.
No, I don't think it is at all. I think if you're a story company, but you're not only producing stories, you're sometimes producing allegories and just thought patterns. So be it. Just don't make the mistake of calling that a story. Don't confuse yourself and your listeners, right? That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna have to come up with some words then. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
conversations.
I said a version
it's
of this a
yeah.
couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you remember when I was comparing what I want to do sort of to jazz. Like I want to live in the texture.
Yeah, no, that's very good. That's extremely poignant at this stage.
Yeah.
But it would be the same thing as, if you were to think about a journey, hey, we're going to drive to from Alaska to the tip of Argentina.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a journey. You have a beginning, you have a middle, you have an end.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to go for a drive and talk or listen to music or whatever, that's not a journey.
Yeah.
You can't call that a journey, but it's very pleasurable.
Yeah.
It's maybe even insightful. Maybe you might have some interesting ideas. You might, see something interesting on the side of the road. You might get out and photograph it. There's lots of value in that, but it's not a story, and it doesn't have to be a story all the time. That's all I'm saying. That's just a bit of a more of a lens focusing, just to bring it into sharper image.
Yeah.
But that's just as valid. I mean, if you want to produce that, it's kind of a subset of a story. It's part of a story. It could be a story.
Part of a story. I like that.
Yeah. But it's not in and of itself, by definition, a story. And that's perfectly okay. Yeah. And if that's what you want to run with at this stage of the game, you will create incredible content.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me give you a scenario that I thought up this morning because I was trying to figure out a way to explain to you what I'm thinking. And I think this is maybe a worthy example. So obviously we can't interview dead people. But
it's difficult.
It is difficult, yeah. But let's just suppose, for the sake of this example, let's just say that were possible. If I was to take a guy who'd been executed, like say a murderer that had been executed, and I was given the opportunity to interview him, the questions I would ask him, the first question I would ask him was what it was like inside, what he was thinking and what he was experiencing inside when he was walking to the fucking chair. That's the first thing I would want to know. But then I would look at whatever it was he was thinking about, whatever it was he was experiencing, and I would start questioning what it was in his life that led him to think that. And then keep working back. Well, in that moment, right? Like if his answer was, well, I was thinking about my kids, or like this incident that happened with my kids, and I would go back and I'd be like, okay, this incident that happened with your kids, what were you thinking then? Like and trace it back to his original traumas or his original formative memories. Like that's the stuff that I'm interested in.
Yeah, that sounds more like connecting dots, and it sounds more like in investigative journalism.
And the fact that he killed somebody and then got executed is really just the hook to get people to originally care.
Yeah.
But it's not what I'm after.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. That's extremely compelling content. It really is. It's just not necessarily a story. That's by definition.
I wish we'd come up with a word. If you ever think of a word, let me know. Because I'm all into like choosing our own unique word to describe it.
Well, maybe that's a job for ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Love it. So when ChatGPT reads this transcript, answer that question.
Yeah.
What's the word we're looking for if it's not story?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a world. We can speak. That's power, We speak things. We speak things out loud and ChatGPT does it.
Yeah, that's very much so.
Power is the ability to make things happen with your words.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And I still wrestle with this very, very, purposefully. And that is, what is this tool that we have now? You know what I mean? This chatbot thing. And I'm still not ready to embrace it again. As I've mentioned before, I embraced it for a short period of time for a studio rebuild project, which and it blew my mind. I mean, I got to think about some of the gear that I had in ways that I would have never come up with, probably in 10 years or 100. Where it said, well, what about this and this, right? And I just went, mind blown.
Yeah.
But it's for whatever reason, and we won't get into that now. I can't go there for some reason.
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
Because I think the way you're doing things right now is almost an ideal. Like, because you ask me to give ChatGPT prompts from time to time.
I do from time to time, that's right.
So
Which is a little bit cheating.
No, it's not. I'm going to tell you why I don't think it is. You're working within self-imposed constraints, which are actually leading to productivity. Because the stuff, when you do ask me to prompt ChatGPT for you, and I do, and I give you the results, you do things with it. You've got a binder of
I do.
papers with scribbles all over it right in front of you now.
Yep, I do.
If you were actually using ChatGPT yourself, I don't think you would take as much time to do that.
Oh, that's a very interesting idea. I don't know.
These
I don't know.
These self-imposed constraints you have are making this possible.
No, because I have 2 binders from the studio project.
Yes.
I printed up everything that it gave me, and I have highlighted things and
But that was a very specific project in a very specific period of time.
yeah.
If you had constant access to ChatGPT for everything you do in life, it would become overwhelming and you would run out of time.
Yeah. Okay, that I accept. Yeah.
True. So like these self-imposed constraints that you put on yourself allow you to be productive in this way, which is invaluable to this project.
Oh, okay.
So I actually think you're kind of doing it the right way.
All right. Well, I shall continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and again, just to go back to the beginning when we started, the evolution of this is remarkable. You know.
Yeah.
You could not have said what you said in the previous 5 minutes 13 weeks ago.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
We were still trying to figure out how we were going to have shows in here.
Yeah.
Like.
But at some point, though, like I do agree with you. Like these ideas, these concepts are evolving, but I'm starting to shift now. Like at some point, I want to not evolve as quickly because I would actually like to create some concepts.
That's right. Yeah. Once you've figured out where you're going to go, you want to go.
Yeah.
Right. You're not, when you're driving towards some destination, you're not thinking about, am I on the right destination? Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe we should turn left here. I don't know. Maybe we should go. Maybe we should loop around.
Yeah.
You know. Maybe we should just go back home and start again with a different destination. Like you don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of where we're at with this particular project. Is we're we're getting rid of stuff, equipment that we're not going to need. You know, some of the things you said in previous episodes have been so powerful. They've just like lingered, in my mind for, days, sometimes weeks. I'm just going, wow, yeah, I've been thinking about that all wrong, And, but here we are now. It's like we've taken decisions or we've made decisions. I've never known. I know people who say make decisions, which is my camp.
Yeah.
And then I know people who say take decisions. He took a decision. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not right.
It sounds kind of like it probably is more proper English. It's probably more old school English to say that.
I don't know.
It sounds like it would be.
Maybe that's another one for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But regardless, whether it's make or take, we have now these decisions that we're working with, and I think they're good.
Me too.
I mean, who knows? I mean, the decision that I made 10 years ago to start collecting enough equipment to build a production facility for, a team of 3 turned out to be not such a good one. I could have spent that time in different ways and that money on different things, but it is what it is. And you can say, well, that's what got you here. And it's like, yeah, but you know what? There are better ways to get places sometimes than the ones we choose. Regardless, I am a die-hard disbeliever in the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
I've had other people around me who've tried to make me buckle to the sunk cost fallacy, but I've never really felt it in my bones.
Yeah.
It's R&D, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, fantastic.
So I'm going to follow this rabbit hole anyway.
I am really. I'm just so impressed. I can't even begin to, like wow.
Yeah. I'm just going to start writing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, and I mean, like, narrow the execution, not the curiosity.
Yeah.
And any of the plans or any of the ideas you've had, like live events, like don't let any of those go. Hang on to all of them.
Yeah.
But don't execute on all of them at the same time, because that's what ends up bogging you down. That's the
for the next year, my focus has just got to be on writing and podcast production.
Yeah, writing and recording and doing that interview thing. I still haven't been able to find it. It's on one of my computer notes. I didn't print it up. But I had typed in the fact that kind of one of the guidelines, one of the mandate points, I guess, should be the fact that this is a vehicle for you to explore, practice, and grow your interview skills.
Yeah.
And so that's near the top, if not number one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so You know, I mean,
I would even
easy
stretch
when
that
you-
into
when you-
conversation skills generally.
Say again?
I would even stretch that out to just be conversation skills generally.
Yeah, but you're already good conversationalist. Like, there's no question there. But it's like, but are you a good interviewer? That's the question. So, you know, let's find out. Let's test that theory. But I mean, that just makes it easy because, you know, would I ever do an interview under this context? No.
Yeah.
No. Every interview must be done by you. I think is a great rule.
Yeah.
10 rules. Could be 10 rules instead of a mandated order. I have to be careful. I left my coffee here last night.
Did you?
And it has cream in it, and I don't want to drink that because that'll be like, oof.
That's the one thing I agreed not to do too when I signed the lease or signed the agreement here. Was not to leave food or drink out.
Oh yeah. Oops. Okay, there, that won't tip over. Okay, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as like an end product, what I'm visioning now for the podcast, at least with this guy that I've started talking to and recording, when I asked you for the transcript, that's why I wanted the format that would be able to tell me where to go for certain clips, because I kind of envision writing a story that lays in some of these phone call recordings.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah, that's nice
almost like
advanced
an
production
type fashion.
Yep. Well, anything from NPR, to be honest, anything from you know, that whole, you know, gang of producers. I mean, they really got that down to an art.
Yeah. So for every call I had with them, and I did this for yesterday's, I'm putting the recording of the call, the transcript, and the notes from ChatGPT. All of that are going into a folder.
Perfect. And then zip that up or archive it in some way, shape, or form. But you can always come back to it if you've got all that material together in one spot.
Right.
Yep.
So like as I'm writing it, I can pull like where possible audio to include would be. And
that's just doing the job, man. That's solid. That's 100%.
Yeah, good. I'm excited.
And it gets away on people really fast, right? You know, like I was working with a video production company a while back, and I said, "Oh, you got to start cataloging your footage. Like, how are you ever going to find this stuff?" Yeah. Well, we'll find it. Okay.
Yeah. Famous
last words. Good luck with that.
It can get big fast.
Holy moly. Yeah. And impossible. I mean, you've got, IMG 1753, .jpeg. Well, what is that? You got to look at it.
Yeah.
Or .mov, right? Like, well, what is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's necessary at this point to transcribe everything we do. But certainly catalog it. Like what I've done for a long, long time now. Shout out to Cory Doctorow, who he's an author and an activist. I learned a lot from him in the early days after I got into his writing, because he used to be a former sysadmin IT guy.
Right.
And he used to rely heavily on text files, TXT. He still does, by the way. All of his novels, everything he writes, it's all done on a text-based solution, because you don't have to worry about platforms or software or SaaS or anything like that. Yeah. You'll be able to open a text file on anything 100 years from now and still be able to see what's there.
Yeah.
Try that with WordStar.
I want to start trying to make stuff this year ahead of the GIDS project a little bit, because I think that fleshing some of this out is actually going to be beneficial to the GIDS project when we actually go into production with it. Because I will learn. I will make mistakes and I'll fucking learn from them before we get to producing GIDS next year. So I'm going to do my best, of course, but I almost don't care if we put garbage out as the first couple of projects. I want to get something into the world for the experience of it. I'm going to give it my all. I'm not just going to be I'm not half-assing anything. But I think I need to do that.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know, dude, unless you have a really strong argument why that's.
Well, I'm in a different place than you are, so I don't want to, superimpose my template over yours because that's not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think your desire in this particular case is spot on. I think it's pure, and it's probably the smart way to go. I don't know. ChatGPT will sound off on that.
So if I start writing a story here and think it's worth going for, you'll consider producing it?
Within reason. Yeah. Within reason, as I said, because going back to a few episodes, we want to make sure. So I've committed to this, and I've committed to GIDS.
Yeah.
But nothing more. So I mean, doing transcripts, doing sort of that administrivia. 100%. I'm in on that. Okay. But hardcore editing time, I have to look at it. I have to see.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you can do it. You know how to edit.
Oh yeah, I'm not against.
You can say, hey, what do you think of this? And I go, oh, change this and this and this, and you're there.
The only disadvantage that I see, well, there's two. It'll slow me down a little bit, but that's fine. And the other is just like you catch so many things that I don't, that it would be.
That's right. So as a sounding board, as a proofreader, if you will, or a proof listener, I can certainly do that, and I'm happy to do that. Very. But in terms of the other thing too is that you do learn a lot as an interviewer when you're editing yourself.
Yeah,
you really do. That's almost like a crash. That's almost like a hidden crash course in storytelling is when you're editing, because your story is told three times. Pardon me.
Yeah.
It's told when it's written.
Yeah.
It's told when it's recorded.
Yeah.
And it's told again when it's edited.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, because all those are much different. Especially for me, actually, recording is the big one. Like I've written things before, and when you go to record it, you realize it's all fucking wrong.
Yes, what's written to be read versus written to be said.
Yeah,
and that's why various people have different tricks and working methodologies. But I mean, one of the best ways to do it is when you've written something, you print it up. I mean, you can read it off a screen. It's not quite the same thing, but print it up and then read it aloud.
Yeah,
and have a pen. And anytime you're stumbling or it just doesn't flow, you underline those words and you go back and that's your revision.
This is going to be a problem with GIDS already. I know it is. I've caught myself in the writing process. Sometimes I'm writing like a speaker. Sometimes I'm writing like it's a book.
I know, but you're not an editor.
I know. I'm just warning you
that
it's that.
Yeah.
I've already seen that problem.
Your first, okay, of course you're going to have that problem. And I will too, like everybody does. It's just, anybody who spits out a finished draft on the first go is not of this realm, I'm telling you right now.
I do think I want to end up in almost all scenarios with the speaker's story, though. I want to speak stories.
Well, that's the goal. That's the origin.
Yeah.
That's our OG, man.
Yeah.
That's where we came from. Mm-hmm. Before written language. Everything was oral.
Yeah.
Oral and rhythmic and repetitive and somehow they needed something to stick. I mean, I don't think they were 100% successful. I don't think any of the original oral stories made it, unscathed.
No.
But, they made it, at least in one form or another. You can say that's good or bad.
Everybody thinks they have their own little embellishment that'll make the story better.
Well, and everybody thinks they remember it correctly.
Yeah, that too, yeah. Yeah, memory is a fucking weird thing, man.
Man.
It really, really is. Like, actually, I want to talk about this briefly. In the past month, I have talked to two different people that don't know each other who I had not seen or heard from in decades. One is a guy I mentioned, one's another girl that I kind of reconnected with over Facebook that I went to high school with. And in each scenario, well, let me talk first about him. I remember something from our childhood that was important to me. An event we went to that was a kind of a big deal, and it's just one of those memories I've always carried with me in my life. Like, oh, you remember this kind of thing. Like, it was just a good memory. I brought it up to him, and he stone cold didn't remember it.
Yeah, I've experienced that many times.
So that showed me right there. Like our experience of life is fundamentally different because It was nothing to him, and it was like a formative moment for me.
Totally.
And then with her, I actually had the flip of that. I sent her a message on Facebook, not really. I was hoping for a reply quite badly, actually, but I didn't know if I'd get one because we had no relationship before. We were never friends. To the best of my record knowledge, we'd never spoken in school even. But I always had kind of wanted to talk to her. And here I am, like 50 with my own existential damage. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to try. I want to see if I could actually have a conversation with her if she'd talk to me. And she did. And then so here I am thinking I'm having this conversation with this girl for the first fucking time. And turns out we've probably talked before because we were at the same bar a couple times, and she was actually friends with somebody that I dated for a while out of high school. And I had forgotten about it. Yeah. And when she said it, it joggled a little piece of my memory that I know it's true. Right. I can't pinpoint the memory, but I know she's telling the fucking truth. It jogged.
Isn't that great?
So I spent the last 25 years thinking I'd never talk to her.
Right.
When I was drunk out of my fucking head. Like I was an alcoholic back then. So the fact that I don't remember is not huge news.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, so I've been on both sides of that.
Yes.
I had this formative thing that was important to me that he can't fucking recall. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck you.
Yes.
Yes. But then on the other side, I thought things were a certain way and it wasn't.
Yes.
It's just fucking memory is an interesting fucking thing.
It is.
We remember what serves us.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It really is, you know. And yeah, I don't want to explore that rabbit hole any further at this time.
Yeah.
Because I'm writing my memoir, obviously, as we speak right now. And so like a lot of that is, I'm dealing with that. You know?
You have to be forgiving of memoir writers. Like you fucking have to.
Yeah,
be.
I do.
It's
Yeah,
their
do.
inner experience you're fucking getting.
That's right.
And
yeah.
if you start nitpicking and fact checking to a fault, like, you will find stuff.
Well, I mean, if anybody's telling a story and you're fact checking them, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, don't ruin a good story with a true fact. Like, I mean, that's the worst thing you can do.
And a lot of the time too, like we're summarizing a larger, difficult thing to tell. We're summarizing it really easy with an example.
Correct. Or we're painting a different picture with words and details, where the picture is more important than the words and the details. Yeah,
right.
You know, yeah, that's it exactly. No, 100%.
And we do that all the time in the world. Like if you go up to somebody or if somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, this guy saved my life." Well, he probably didn't literally save the guy's life. But he set a series of events in motion that like made his life livable. Like, there's just these like implicit things.
There's hyperbole and all that kind of stuff added on top of all that.
But it is meaningful.
You might just get the facts completely wrong.
Right.
You know, like, no, that wasn't 1970. That was like 1980.
Yeah.
Oh, are you sure? Like, you've just ruined a good story now. What did it matter what decade it was or what year it was? It didn't for the story. Finish the story. Fact check them after.
Yeah.
You know?
And it sucks as a writer too. Like with Gids, I'm at a point right now where I'm actually discussing facts of the car accident itself.
Yeah.
And some of it is almost impossible to prove.
Sure.
Because I'm talking about police reports that are 40 years old. I'm talking about eyewitness testimony.
Yep.
That I heard firsthand from the witness, but I heard it as a 15-year-old.
That's right.
In 1989.
That's right.
They're gone.
That's right.
Like, so is my memory of what they said imperfect? Probably.
Yeah.
But what I have is the emotional imprint that it left on me.
Yeah.
That is as real as the day it was formed.
Yeah.
That allows me to tell a story that fits together with the other pieces.
Yeah.
So all I can do is form this story, this list of events, best I fucking can.
Yeah.
But if somebody examines it under a microscope and has unlimited access to police reports and newspaper
they got all the microfiche.
Yeah, they'll find little inconsistencies. I'm almost sure of it. I don't think major ones.
Yeah.
But they'll find little ones. And if they find little ones, then all of a sudden the house of cards can fall. Because
it starts to crumble. Yeah, for sure.
If he was telling if this was untruthful, what else is untruthful?
Yeah, correct.
And you introduce all this doubt.
That's right, and credibility issues. I'm on the 4th iteration of my memoir at the moment, and the approach, I've taken a different approach with each one of them. And the previous one, the 3rd one, was way more fact and list based. And I remember I would get halfway through a chapter, and it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know who else would care about this, but that's what I figured out in this latest iteration now. I'm not writing to the list or the facts or anything like that. I'm just writing as what I remembered and how it made me feel.
Yeah, how you experienced the world.
Yes, how I experienced the world.
Yeah.
Bring that back around.
Yeah.
And I am having a blast with it. It to the point where I tire myself out, at the end of some days, where it's like, okay, that's enough. I'll have to come back to it tomorrow. So now I know I'm on to something. And that feeds back into I think maybe the greater purpose of us telling stories isn't to perpetuate facts and details. It's to instruct each other about how to think about and what to feel for the things that you don't yet understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, other than I'll add to that, I'm personally very curious to know where we're all the same too and where we're all unique. I'm fascinated with that.
Yeah.
So when I relate to a person, whether it's through their story or through talking to them directly or working with them, whatever, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm kind of sorting that out. Like where are we the same and where are we different?
Well, there's an individuated same and different, and then there's a global or a communal same and different.
Yes.
And I think that's a really interesting, right? It's like the tapestry, it's like the quilt made up of pieces of material, but then it's the material itself that's made up of patterns and pieces of thread. And it gets pretty fractal after that.
Music is like that.
Music is exactly like that. Yeah.
Like we hear a string pluck an F,
Yeah.
We think that, well, we're just hearing enough. Well, you're not. You're actually hearing a whole harmony
That's right. Yeah.
of
All the
smaller
harmonics
sound.
of it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Trippy.
Definitely.
All right. Until next time.